We're joined now by Falcons fullback Ovie, who's here to help break down the NFL playoffs. But first, we got to talk a little bit about the Falcons season. You may not want to talk a lot about the Falcons season, Ovie. Give us a feel. What was it like this year?
It was crazy. To be honest with you, it was crazy this season. Not at all what I expected when I signed with the Falcons. But one good thing came out of it was that it built character in not only myself but my teammates. It showed really who wanted to be there, because losing in and out, day in and day out, having the Petrino situation, Mike Vick situation, being under that bubble, you really had to have a love for the game to keep on trying to win. Let's
take those situations one at a time. You signed on. I'm sure you figured Michael Vick was going to be the quarterback, and he wasn't there basically the whole time. How did sentiment run for or against Mike Vick in the locker room?
We all supported him. He's one of us. He's a player. A lot of guys knew him real well. I only knew him for a couple months in minicamp and then training, minicamp. But it wasn't anger. I think it was more anger at the situation. We were real upset that, that's even happened, that Mike had to go through this, that the organization had to go through this. A lot of guys felt bad for Mr. Blank. But as far as really being angry at Mike, it wasn't like that. We just wished him the best and hope that, he gets out as soon as possible. And we all know, because we talk about it a lot, when he gets back, he's going to be playing.
It sounds like that he could be back in 2009, although I'm not sure he's coming back for the Falcons. Arthur Blank made it sound like he didn't want him back.
If it's not the Falcons, he'll be playing somewhere.
Okay. You said it wasn't anger towards Mike Vick. Was it anger towards Bobby Petrino when he walked away with 3 games left?
Now, that was anger.
That was anger.
That was anger. And the older guys really felt betrayed. I felt betrayed. I was angry. I found out on my radio show, with Buck and Kincaid in Atlanta, and was shocked. I thought I was being punked or it was April Fool's. I didn't know what was going on. But in talking to, Brooke and Lawyer, these older guys, Warwick Dunn, they really feel like he toyed around with a precious year in their life. They get, a certain amount of years playing in this game in the NFL, and for him to not be all there, to be working on getting a job somewhere else while he's an Atlanta Falcons coach, it's just not right.
What did you make of the fact that he didn't address the players individually or as a group, but he basically wrote you guys a letter?
A little cowardly. Because he knows that to stand in front of some grown men and to say what he had to say, he would have got some reactions that he didn't like. So he wanted to say his piece and then just leave without having to hear what we had to say. And I just don't think that's the way you go about it.
Did someone actually stand up in front of the team and read the letter to you?
No, we just had it all in our locker. We saw it. We talked about it. And, the same sentiment was around the locker room, just discussed.
Okay, while we're on coaches, Brian Billick, who you played for a few years there in Baltimore, also out as the Ravens coach. Just your general thoughts on that situation.
I know he's going to get a job somewhere because despite this season, I know he's a great coach. Last year I was in Baltimore. We went 13-2 with Steve McNair. Coach Billick took over the play calling responsibilities after he got the not offensive coordinator, but the guy who was calling the plays earlier. He left, and Coach Billick started calling the plays. We started winning. I think he is an offensive genius. He's a little on the cocky side. He swears he's got to get the coaching, but he's good. He's a good coach, and so you have to have a little, bit of that when you come with it.
Well, he has been called a genius a few times, as we all know. All right, let's talk about the weekend's playoff game. We'll go chronologically. Start with the Packers over the Seahawks. Ryan Grant, very interesting story. Fumbles the first 2 times he has the ball. What's your mindset? Your first playoff game ever. You've coughed it up twice. The Seahawks have taken it back twice for scores. What's going through Ryan Grant's head there?
Oh, gosh. It's the worst feeling in the world to fumble. Being a player, having fumbled twice in my career. The most recent was against Kansas City last year.
You remember him, huh?
Yes. You remember every single fumble. And you feel terrible. You want to go sit on the bench, and you feel like no one wants to talk to you. But Ryan Grant, he didn't let it get to him. And he came back. He wanted to show everyone that he can still play and that, he can make it up to him, and he did that.
Absolutely, 201 yards on the ground. All right, then the late game Saturday, more of the same out of the Patriots. Tom Brady, 26 of 28, Ovie. Just seeing that, what do you think?
I get tired of watching the boys win. It's like
you're rooting against them.
No, I'm not rooting against them. It's just a
lot of people are.
They're not human. It's just like Rocky fighting the Russian. He's a man, not a machine. You don't think the Patriots are a machine the way they go about just dismantling every defense they come up against. So I want them to keep on winning, keep on playing their game, because right now it's a sight.
That was the Patriots on the offensive side of the ball. On the defensive side of the ball, they did the job as well. Rodney Harrison, 35 years old, picked up a couple personal fouls, penalties, as is his norm. but he also had another interception. What's the book on Harrison?
Passionate player. And to be at that age and play at that level, you have to be a passionate player. You have to love the game. You can't like the game. You have to love the game. To go through training camp, mini camp, the coaches, waking up at 6 in the morning, the workouts. And he loves the game, and he plays like it. So you have to know where he's at on the field at all times in order to win. It
definitely comes through. All right, Chargers and over the Colts. That was probably the stunner of the weekend. What did you make of the way the Chargers defense pretty much bottled up Peyton Manning and that Colts offense down the stretch?
They just wanted it more. Sean Merriman, he's always been a great player, and he showed why, he can do the lights on, lights off because he makes plays. And he made plays that game and allowed them to win.
Now, what chance do you give the Chargers if LT can't come back? Now, he's got a knee. You think he's going to be back in 7 days' time?
I don't know. T.O. was able to come back. No one thought he can come back a while back in the playoffs. And so I think if LT wants to, he can. But will he be at full strength? That's up to the doctors. Yeah,
it's amazing that they won that football game, that's for sure. Giants over the Cowboys, usually in a game like this, we see the constant there's a pounding of Marion Barber, and you figure it's going to just get worse for the Giants defense the more pounding they take. Instead, they pretty much shut down Barber and that Cowboys offense in the second half. How did they go about doing that?
By flying around. That defense was moving so fast that I don't think Marion Barber had a chance to use the cutback lanes that he had, a chance to hit the holes like he wanted to. And with my fellow Nigerian Osi Umenyore, he spent all day in the backfield. It's hard to really operate like that.
Better dreadlocked University of Minnesota runner, Marion Barber or Lawrence Maroney? That's a backfield back at
That's a tough one. Man, if those two on the same team, it'd be crazy. But I have to say Lawrence Maroney.
Hey, I want to get a fullback question in here for you. On the first Giants touchdown, Amani Toomer makes a catch. Madison Hedgecock, he didn't take out just 2 guys, Ovie. He took out 3 guys. What did you make of that play, just what he's turned into as a fullback?
I think he's turned into a great fullback, and it's a learning process. You can be the strongest guy, the biggest guy, the fastest guy. That doesn't necessarily make you the best fullback. It's a game of angles. It's a game of timing. It's a game of leverage, and to put all that together, makes a great fullback, and he's definitely getting there.
What is the mentality of a fullback? I mean, are you more of an offensive lineman, or are you more of a running back? Who do you hang with?
My locker is next to Jarius, and it's next to the offensive lineman, so I run with both. I'll sneak in for the offensive linemen's rookie night and go out bowling with them, plus I hang out with the running backs. But you got to be in sync with your running back. You and your tailback, y'all have to be like synchronized swimmers, without the tights. But y'all have to be in sync. Y'all have to be on the same page and know what each other's going to do.
All right, Ovie, Mihaly, hey, listen, best of luck to you next year. Hopefully it'll be better than this year for the Falcons.
That won't be hard.
All right, Ovie Mihaly joined us here on the Hot List. The good news, the Chargers are in the AFC Championship game. The bad news, their key players on offense are banged up. An update on their status next. Plus, we'll head to Daytona for testing. Stay there.
Right now, you can log on to eharmony.com and review